Roll4Crit.com presents How to Play Sentinels of the Multiverse in 5 minutes or less or more. Sentinels of the Multiverse is the cooperative superhero card game in which you take on the role of a comic book hero to help your friends vanquish evil and stuff. Designed by Christopher Badell and published by Greater Than Games. To win a game of Sentinels, you'll need to A. Defeat a villain, and B. Not die. Each player will begin by choosing a hero along with one of their pre-constructed decks and character card. On the field will be a deck of villain cards next to the main villain and a deck of environment cards, each of your choosing. Each player draws a hand of 4 cards from their personal deck, and you're ready to go. The game phases go from villain turn to hero turn to environment turn, starting with the villains. First, make sure you read the special rules that come with your chosen villain that tell you which side of the card should be face up, among other things. Throughout the game, different effects can cause the villain card to flip over, changing the way they behave. If there are any villain cards in play which include the text at the start of the villain turn, then those things happen first at the start of the villain turn. Often this will involve dealing damage to heroes. Next, you flip a new card from the top of the villain deck and add it to the end of the lineup, carrying out any effects that it has. And finally, if any cards have effects that take place at the end of the villain turn, then you do those, at the end. Villain cards activate in order from first played to most recently played, or from left to right if you arrange them like a normal person. After all that bad stuff happens, heroes get a chance to fight back. Heroes take their turns one at a time in clockwise order from where the villain is. First, take care of any start of turn effects. Then, you get to play a card from your hand. Cards don't have a cost, but you can only play one per turn. Ongoing and equipment cards stay out in front of you, while one-shot cards are discarded after use. Also, keep in mind that you can't have more than one copy of a card marked limited in play at a time. Once you've played something, you can then use a power. Powers are printed on various cards, and each hero character starts with a power on their character card. Finally, draw one card from your deck and resolve any end-of-turn effects. On your turn, you don't have to play a card or use a power, but if you do both, they must be done in that order. If you do neither, then you get to draw an additional card at the end of your turn. There is no hand limit or limit to the number of cards that you can have in play. After each hero has had a turn, the environment deck comes into play. As per usual, keep an eye out for any start of turn effects on existing cards. Flip over a brand new card from the environment deck and put it into play following its instructions. Environment cards are a lot like villain cards in the way that they operate, but you might be able to use them to your advantage more. Lastly, if the card says end of turn, then you're going to want to go ahead and do that at the end of the turn. Any card with a number in its top corner is a target that can take damage. Whenever a card takes damage, you'll need to place that number of damage tokens on said card. If the number of tokens equals their health points, then they're discarded to the appropriate pile. If this happens to a hero, the hero flips over. From now on, that player will only be able to use one of the printed abilities on that side of the card and not do anything else for the game. You should note that there are different types of damage. Some characters are immune or can become immune to those types, so pay attention. If you see this H symbol on a card, that stands for the number of players currently in the game. And you should also know that some characters are nemeses to each other. If you see the same icon on a hero and a villain's cards, they're mortal enemies, and they'll do an extra point of damage to each other when they are attacking each other. As soon as the villain is defeated, the game is over and you've saved the day! In conclusion, play cards, use powers, fight minions, survive the environment, and be the hero you were born to be! That's Sentinels of the Multiverse in a nutshell. Did you get all that?